Okay, the last section here is just is factoring with coefficients out in front, you know, we'll do the standard typical here. Although maybe I'll leave you to that one. I'm going to do 43 first and 42 because 42 involves a little bit extra, and sometimes we just forget that there's a 1 here, so that's why I'll do this one. To remind ourselves, if you do the product of those two there, take it to the diamond, you got a negative 20 x squared. It's a good thing to write that, and you get your negative 1x down on the bottom. Conveniently enough, the two numbers that multiply together to get that, add together to get that, are your same 5 and 4. You didn't have to go far to find those. 5x and 4x, it's a negative 1 on the bottom, so that's got to be a negative 5. Now, what we've done here is we've taken these two things to replace that middle guy, and we're doing the grouping method of factoring, which means we're going to take the same equation, 5x squared, and then transition to these guys, minus 5x plus 4x, and then the minus 4 up here. You're using those two guys that are highlighted there and replacing that with the two things you got from your diamond. Okay? Stick that in your brain because that's where a lot of things go wrong and haywire in this type of problem. We're going to take out the 5x. We're left with x minus 1. We're going to take out a 4. And we're left with an x minus 1. If you're factoring this way, this must happen for things to work out right. You must have something that they have in common because that's the next thing that you're going to remove. Take out the x minus 1, and you're left with that and that, 5x plus 4. Okay. Same thing can be done with all the rest of these. However, the reason I left 42 for the end is because we can kind of work up to this. What this had different than the other two is that this had a 2 that could be removed. So step 1 really needs to be, let's get there. You got a 3x squared plus 4x plus 1. And now at this point, you can do your diamond and box, but let me just suggest something else here for this one. Before they had diamonds and boxes, or the wheel or fire, I was in school learning this kind of process. And factoring, all we did is we kind of had to do a trial and error thing. In some cases, when you have multiple options like 4, you can do 4 times 1, 2 times 2, whatever. It's nice to have a different kind of process that can narrow it down. There's only one option. But here, when you say there's only one option, what times what is 3? Well, you only have 3 times 1 as an option. What times what is 1? Well, there's only 1 times 1. So if you look at the numbers here that are prime numbers that are easy to work with, maybe bypass the diamond and the box altogether and say, okay, well, what two things must multiply together to get 3x squared? Well, 3x and 1x are the only two things that will work. Well, what are the two things that multiply together to get 1? Well, if we're talking whole numbers here, 1 and 1 are it. Okay? The fact that all these are pluses makes this thing even easier. Plop a couple pluses in there. You can double check just real quickly to see is my outer and my inner going to give me the 4x, and it certainly does. 3x times 1 and x times 1 gives you the 3 plus 1 is 4x. So you don't always have to do the diamond in the box or the diamond and the grouping. If you've got a simplistic kind of thing, which by the way you can try your luck here, 2 prime numbers. Limited options in terms of how to set it up, but definitely double check the outer and the inner. So I'll leave that to you. Thanks for watching.